Hi everybody, Matt Miller here, specifically creating a food plot in northern Michigan, my style. My style is, I don't have a whole lot of money, don't have the resources, don't have the equipment. However, I do have the head knowledge to get online and do my own research. I started out with a plan of the food plot, wrote it out, and I did my homework. Started taking a bunch of notes. I even went a little further as to drawing out my own map of the property. Color coding the map even for what's already there, what I already call the sanctuary, the pines, the apple orchards. Color coding it to switchgrass as to what I want to plant. Destination food plots and kill plots, current trees, current lick locations, current scrape locations, runways, trails. Matter of fact, soil test is probably the most important thing that you can do besides doing all the mental planning for specifics within your food plots. And it's imperative to take multiple samples from multiple locations. Next most important thing is to think about the history of the property. If you've already hunted a few times like we have for the last few years, we've had great success, we've had great failures. This last fall was a failure. 2 years ago during the youth hunt, all three of my children, Lily, Michelle, and Maria, all shot a deer on the youth day. And greatly in part because we hadn't stepped foot on the property before that date most of the summer. Some may say that that's bad planning on my part, but I also look at it as this way, that those deer didn't look disturbed at all. I mean, my 10-year-old Maria, actually she was 9 then, we were in stand 10 minutes and this 8-point walks by. I mean, he didn't care. He didn't know we were there. Wind was in our favor, but it was perfect. This was Maria's 8-point. We figure it's probably a 1.5-year-old, maybe 2.5, but I think it's 1.5. This is Michelle's doe. Called it a little doe, and then it being a fawn. Still great meat. This is Lily in her 6-point. Again, probably a 1.5-year-old buck. Perfect for their first deer. So that was 2 years ago. It was perfect fall. I also shot a large 6-point that came walking right underneath my stand on November 13th, 2014, 2 days before the Michigan opener of the rifle season. And that was an epic hunt. I tracked that deer for over 2 miles with a buddy. We would have never found that deer if it wasn't for my buddy and just the importance of having somebody with you, both for extra set of eyes, tracking expertise, and companionship. I probably would have gave up within the hour just for the lack of support. And that's why you always track a deer with somebody else, and the fact of possibility of getting lost. So that was 2 years ago. It was a perfect fall for us. We had 4 deer down before November 15th deer season in Michigan, which is an awesome feat by itself. Now last year, it just seemed like we did everything wrong. The deer were coming in 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. No sightings hardly at all during the day, or at least daylight hours anyway. Both my wife and I did have encounters with 2 giant bucks during archery season, and we managed to both get them on video, but didn't get them stuck with our bows. I don't know if that was just a mental problem, or well, I know what my problem was. I wasn't paying attention. Deer walked out to my right, and I was caught off guard. My wife, on the other hand, they heard the deer coming. My daughter Lily was sitting with her, caught it on video with her camera, poor video though, and my wife couldn't get her bow off of her hanger where she was hanging her bow in time, and then when she did get it off the bow hanger, she couldn't move because she was caught. The deer was looking right at her 20 yards away. Perfect broadside shot. So we chalked up last fall as failures. Children didn't see anything during the youth hunt. Probably because we were overkill when it came to trying to put in a food plot, spending way too much time there, walking in and out of the sanctuary, walking too close to their bedding areas, always kicking up deer. So there was a lot of variables there that deer didn't like last year. So we are taking the perfect season from 2 years ago, failures from last year, and redoing some things and leaving others off as for the plan for 2016. We are currently supplemental feeding. Again, failure in the food plot area even, and I'll get into that later on maybe, as to what I did wrong, and the corners I cut, and the cost, and what it cost me, cost my deer season and my family's deer season on multiple levels. But supplemental feeding, we've got shucked corn out there in a broadcast spin feeder right now. I've got a trophy rock down on the ground. I've got some other bait out there to pull the deer into spring. So hopefully they start on the right path this spring, and we can do nothing but go up from here. So I want you to follow me on this journey. And wait.
This is a new food plot. It's a hidey hole food plot. This is going to be called Lily's spot. She's my 16-year-old daughter, and we're moving her out of the pines to create a sanctuary over there, a no zone for hunting, as you would. This is going to be, you probably have this on your property, we have to take out some little trees, some saplings. Right here is the tree in which we're going to put Lily's stand. It's a maple tree, and we've got it picked out. Wind predominantly comes from this direction out of the west, and there's going to be a shooting lane here. It's going to be a food plot out front here, but she's going to be high enough in the tree where I don't think any deer standing there with a west wind is going to be bothered by it. Or we might just take the safe approach and not hunt this in a west wind. Northwest wind, north wind, east wind, sometimes we get those. But you might have to do this on your property. You have to take out some trees, some branches, make some shooting lanes. This is an unfinished one over here. This one over here, we still need to take out the little trees. We still need to cut and trim, get ready for spring. Over here, we've already done that. We've got this area opened up. See the stumps out here? We've got those taken care of, some little brush piles off to the side. Normally we don't want big brush piles because that brings in critters. That brings in unwanted animals that's going to mow your food plot. So that's where we're at.